welcome, wherever you are in the world, to our March Synergy training. And I just want to say some questions did get sent in to us this over the past month. And so I can get started right away with some questions that were sent in. If you have some questions of your own, please feel free to write them in the chat box or the Q&A box. Maggie is here with me today, and she will be fielding the questions. And hopefully we'll have a great session with a lot of learning. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. By the way, I've got a new computer set up, so I'm looking at my small laptop right now. I've got a big monitor, so I'm going to kind of be looking at the bigger monitor, and hopefully that won't distract people. All right, so here's SHS. Let's get started by answering a question about the QREP. Somebody wrote in and was wondering, how do I know what version I have? How do I get an update? And if you had our old Mac repertory, you had version 3. If you have SHS, you have version 4. Version 5 is coming out. I don't know what the upgrade price is yet. That hasn't been determined. If you don't own the QREP and you want to purchase it, that's a $95 charge. So if anyone has any more questions, I'm actually going to use the QREP a little bit in the session today, and you can take a look at it. It's Jeremy Scher's QREP of Mental Qualities. It's a really wonderful book. He put a lot of time and effort into it, trying to simplify repertorizing for the mental symptoms. Okay, so the first questions have to do with reference library. I'm going to go to the reference library, the open book icon here on the left side. And the question is about putting the references side by side. So let's say that, for instance, you're wanting to compare petroleum and tobacco, looking at the differences in the motion sickness that they both have. And you want to look at them in Herring. You want to look at both of those remedies in Herring's book. So I'm going to come here to books. I ticked on books because I want to find that one book. Herring's Guiding Symptoms. Now, I'll click on the book. You can certainly click on the book, and it brings you to the top of the book. You see on the right side, you're at the top over here. But of course, all the remedies are below that. And so to get to my first remedy, petroleum, I'm going to type on my keyboard, PET, pop to it. I'm going to click on it to replace that intro tab that had, the top of the book was showing on the tab on the right side. Now I also want to find the tobacco remedy within this book. So I'm going to type on my keyboard, TAB. There it is. Now, if I were to click it, like I clicked the petroleum, it would replace the petroleum tab. So what I'm going to do is right click, open this one in a new tab. All right, now I want to look at them side by side from the same book. So I'm going to come over here to this icon, compare tabs side by side. The tobacco tab is already forward. You don't choose the one that's forward. You choose the one that you want to bring forward. So the petroleum tab is the one I want to bring forward. I'm going to hit OK. And now I'm looking at those in the same book, side by side. And so that was a question from Jessica. And Jessica, if you have any more questions about that, please do let me know. I'll show you another way to come at looking at remedies. Let's say that after going through these two comparisons here, you decide that, okay, I think petroleum is the one that I'm leaning towards, but I kind of want to study it more. I want to go to a couple of different other books and study petroleum. I'm going to undo this by clicking on that tab again, unticking and hitting OK. And now I'm going to come over here to the left side. I'm going to click on remedies, and I'm going to go search for petroleum. Okay, there it is. And again, I could click on it. It would replace the herrings tab I have here. Maybe I want to keep that. I don't want that gone. I know that the tab that's faint, this lighter blue tab, on the left side, that one was the tobacco tab. I can X out of that, so I can do that. But what I want is, I want to find petroleum in two other books that I like. So I could click on it, but it would replace herring. I don't want to replace herring. I'm going to open the book by clicking on the plus sign. And I'm going to move that highlighting off the remedy name into the books so that my 3-letter shortcut will work to find the book I want. I'm going to go find Chaudhry's, CHOU. There it is. I want to open it in a new tab. So what am I going to do? I'm going to do the right click to open that in a new tab. And I also want to find Vermeulen's Synoptic. So I'm going to type on my keyboard, VERM. Wait, let me do that again. I'm just going to click it. I'm going to click into the left side because it didn't. Okay, hold on just a second. Let me go back to Chaudhry. Okay, now I'm going to type VERM, and there it is. And I'm going to click. Now you see how the concordant is highlighted? You don't have to move your highlighting down to the synoptic if the synoptic is what you want. You can just position your mouse on that synoptic name, right click, open this in a new window. And so now I have 3 books all about petroleum on the right side. And if I want to look at 2 of them together, you can only look at 2 together, not 3. So I'm going to hit this, and Vermeulen's, yes, I want to see. And I also want to go look at Chaudhry's. So I'm going to click that, bring that forward with Vermeulen, and hit OK. And now I'm looking at those 2 books side by side. Let's say I want to bookmark them to look, come back to them at another time. I can do that. Let me show you how to bookmark. I'm going to undo this just to make it real clear. The dark tab here is the one that we're on, which is Chaudhry's. I'm going to come over to bookmarks, which is this icon just beside the side-by-side icon. And you see where it says bookmark add. You want to be sure the add is on because you're adding a bookmark. You can choose any color you want. It could be the same color every time, different colors. I happen to like the orange one, so I'm going to choose orange. I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to click on this tab and do the same thing. Add. Okay. And come over here. I'm going to bookmark this one. Okay, so I've bookmarked all of those. Let's say that I've X'd out of a couple of those. Oh, but wait a minute, I want to read one more thing about Chaudhry. I can come over here, and now I'm going to hit view the bookmark, and here it is right here. And I'm going to hit OK, and now it's back instantly. So bookmarks are really a nice way to mark your place if you think you want to come back and read about something that you had been reading about before.
Lucy,
Yes.
could you just pop in there to Q&A and just look at the question that Lisa Robbins has put in?
Okay. Well, I can answer the end of that question very easily. You use the right-click function to pull up menu options. That's pretty much what the right-click function is for. You saw me do it here where I wanted the menu option of opening in a new tab. You use right-click in the clipboard when you want to copy or paste or combine or grade. You use it in repertory module when you want to go to go look at that remedy in reference library. You're given that menu option, and I can show you those things. And so I'm not understanding the first part. Okay, I will recap the side-by-side, Erica. I certainly will. But Lisa, I don't understand the first part of your question. Not on the gray search tab at the top. Oh, okay, I think I might understand. The gray search bar at the top is for when you are wanting to use global search. So you can choose, you can find rubrics or information in your materia medica any which way you want. You can be in reference library, searching through books, you know, if you want to go to specific remedies. You know, you can certainly be in reference library for hours, looking at books, remedies. You can be in the repertory module, you know, looking in the various chapters and looking for rubrics that way. The beautiful thing, my most favorite thing about Synergy homeopathic software is the type to search window. Because if you have something in mind, you can type it up there and you can instantly find it in repertories and references. So it's just your preference, you know. I love using global search window. You know, let's say I wanted to find motion sickness and just see what that's all about. I can come up here. Whoops, got to spell it right. And, you know, here it pops up in all the repertories where that word, you know, there might be another word to describe that as well. Seasick, you know, travel, aggravate. I mean, there are all kinds of ways you can look for remedies that cause that aggravation during travel. Motion sick is one way to say it. And so here you get this, you can come to any of the repertories that actually have information about, you know, that terminology that you put in the global search window. Not only that though, once you're finished looking at rubrics and repertories, come over to reference library and you have every single instance of that word in your reference library that has come to the front. So it's a wonderful thing to use. But let me go back to reference library a moment. I'm going to just recap the side by side. Here I have Chaudhry's about petroleum. Herring's guided symptoms is something I would like to bring next to it. This is the icon you use here. If you guys can see my pointer, it's pointing to that one right to the left of the question mark. Click there. Chaudhry's is already to the front, so I'm going to choose Herring's to come to the front. Hit OK. Now they're both to the front. And to undo it, if you're finished, you can just come in here and undo and hit OK. Now, I also wanted to point out that if I can get over to here, I made a video about this. I don't know if you guys have explored the YouTube channel, but there are like 20 now, short videos about very specific topics. And I just wanted to show you, if you go to our YouTube channel, and maybe Maggie can throw that in the chat box for everybody. You see all these short videos. They're short. It's not a big time commitment. Like these trainings also go up on YouTube in a different section of our channel. But these short videos have their own section. And here it is right here, view references side by side. So if you're ever not remembering how to do it, you can always come here. And in 6 minutes, most of them are under 5 minutes, a few go longer, but none are over 10 minutes. And here you have this video here. And, you know, I just recently put up how to use cross references just this week, because I have a lot of people asking me, I want them turned on all the time, but they keep going off. What do I do? So I created this video. So hopefully that will clear up the confusion about that. But there's lots of good information here. If you just have a few minutes at lunchtime to watch a video, I would recommend coming here and watching some of those.
Lucy, there's just Lisa has some more questions about global search, and I think about the rep tab and the reference library tab in terms of the results. And Erica is asking if you could search for pain in nates or buttocks. So maybe you could use that search to just go through a search again.
Sure. All right, so Nate's buttock. And I'm going to go ahead and pick what, Maggie?
Sorry, go on.
I'm going to go ahead and just put the 3 there. Now, the proximity language, which that 3 is part of, has no impact on your search for rubrics. All that proximity language really is, it matters when you're looking through your references. So I'll go ahead and put that there just for fun. And what I'll do is take that 3 out and I'll show you the difference in the references, but let me do it this way first. All right, and just we'll put pain. You know, and maybe it's an aching pain or whatever, but maybe you haven't defined the pain. You could do that too. You could do pain within 3 words of ache or shooting or, you know, anything bruised or anything like that. So, but I'm gonna go ahead and run this. That drop down menu that comes, some people use it to look at their, you know, choices there. I usually ignore the drop down window unless I'm trying to filter, but I'm not filtering here. So what I'm going to do is just hit return on my keyboard. If you're on Windows, you would hit enter. All right. And so now you can see we're in global search. We got a result. We're on the repertory tab first. All these repertories that are listed here have a result for that search that you just ran. And it comes in chapter by chapter. So here we have the complete repertory. In the Mind chapter, there's actually a rubric related to that search term. It may not be applicable to your case, but there it is. But I guess typically maybe you would go to back. That's probably where, you know, you look at the chapters and you determine, okay, I think the rubric I want is probably in the back chapter, and then you can go and look there. Or maybe it's in the extremities chapter, you know, like here's one: extremities, pain, burning, smarting, buttocks, nates, you know, like that. So I've looked at the complete. You could also explore the reliable or any of your other repertories that have a result. Choose one or more rubrics. You can pull rubrics from a variety of repertories. You don't have to stick to one repertory. Multiple repertories rubrics can go on one clipboard. And so once you're finished pulling your rubrics, you then can pop over to the reference library tab. And this is where you'll get the result from your materia medica. All of this, you'd see the books are abbreviated here. Over on the left side, you've got the remedy, you've got the section it came out of. You know, if a section is listed in your reference, it could be general. And you've got the book it came out of. And so, for instance, if you hover your mouse, this one right here, I'm hovering my mouse on agaricus, and I'm like, what book is that? HMP. Look down at the status bar at the bottom, you can see, oh, it's Hempel's Materia Medica. Okay. So, you know, and then, oh, what's HUG? You can hover your mouse, look at the bottom. Oh, that's Hughes. So you can, you know, go through here. Now I got 287 remedies from the reference library. If I were to take the 3 out up here, let's just say we do pain, pain right next to the other terms. And if we run that search, okay, you get the very same rubrics you got before, but let's pop over to reference library. The number has dropped because I took that 3 out, because that 3 told my program, look for nates, buttocks within 3 words of pain. And now with this search, my search is telling the program, look for nates and buttocks next to pain. So without any separation between those terms. And so the result's going to be smaller. I hope that's clear.
Do you want to put that into your clipboard, Lucy?
Oh, sure. What, this right here?
Yeah.
Sure, let's do that. So I'll go ahead. I've got a couple of clipboards set up here to show something else that somebody had a question about, but I'll go ahead and just put that right on the active clipboard. The active clipboard is the one that's circled in aqua. And that's how you do that. You see that number went from 2 to 3 here. I'll go ahead and open this clipboard and you see how it shows up. Reference library -search -S stands for search. And there it is right there. Now, let's say I wanted to, here's another question I got from Averett. And so Averett was wondering, how do I move rubrics from one clipboard to another without dragging? Now, I personally love the dragging thing because you see the clipboards that you have over on the left. They're always there, visible on the left. So if I see that I want to put, for instance, this in clipboard number 2, I can click, hold, and drag it over here to clipboard number 2. And so now let's open that up. You see it went in. Let's say I wanted to put it on a new clipboard. So I'm going to close, from here, I'm going to drag it to not a clipboard, but to that clipboard manager, which is the icon right above the clipboards. So I want to open a new clipboard, not have this on the 2 I already have open. So I'm going to click, hold, and drag to the manager icon. Oops, it didn't work that time. Wait a minute. Okay, that didn't work. So that's okay.
Just create a new clipboard.
You just create a new clipboard. You click on this and there is a clipboard, and now I can do it like that. So I just learned something. So this is good. You cannot open a new clipboard from click, holding, and dragging from a clipboard. Now you can, if you're in repertory module and you're in a chapter and you want to open a new clipboard from repertory module, you can. Let's say we want this top rubric to go onto a different clipboard. I'm dragging it to that manager and it did open. So you can see, you can do that from repertory module. And I was thinking you could do it from the clipboard, but you can't. That's okay. You can do it from repertory module.
Lucy, would you just show the icon that you used again to create the rubric from the reference library result?
Yes, yes. So I'm here, and over here on the right side, there's this little clipboard with a plus sign. And, you know, I've put it on one clipboard. I can put it on that active clipboard too. I'm going to hit it again, and it went on the clipboard number 4. So this is what you have to click to put a reference library search on your clipboard. Now, another way to move rubrics between clipboards, you can click, hold, drag. You can also, let's say I want these two, the QRep. I chose, you know, I had opened a clipboard with mental rubrics from the QRep. Spiders, maybe the person has dreams of spiders, has fears of spiders. So I added that quality to that clipboard. Trapped, you know, maybe the person is extremely claustrophobic. Maybe they're trapped in a job that don't see any way out of. But anyway, so I chose a couple of QRep rubrics, and now I want to move them in a different way other than dragging, which I showed you, to clipboard number 2. So I'm going to highlight them. And to highlight multiples, hold down the command or the control key. And I'm going to open clipboard number 2. Oh, first I have to copy. Sorry. It does help to copy first. So I've highlighted them, and now I'm going to right click to get my menu options, and I can copy here. I can also use the keyboard shortcut Command C or Control C. So you can do that. Then you open this up, click into that keyboard and hit paste. And there you go. There they are. So that's another way to do it. Personally, I think the dragging is the easiest. But, you know, sometimes people remember things, you know, in different ways. And so maybe it's easier for you to remember to right click at the menu or to use your keyboard shortcut, Command C, and then Command V would be the paste shortcut on the keyboard once you get to the new clipboard. Any questions?
I know you probably have some more questions there to work through also, but there is a question here around reverse repertory. Could you show how to use the reverse rep?
Sure. So the reverse repertories reside in your reference library. And so I would click on books because, you know, I want to go find one. Let's go find the reliables reversed. Whoops, reliable. There it is. Let's say we want to see petroleum. So I would open this book up by clicking on the plus sign. I would hit the down arrow on my keyboard to move into the remedies, and I'm going to type PET. And there it is right here. And I'm going to go ahead and replace that tab I have over there, or maybe I won't. I'll keep hearing and I'll keep Chaudhary. I'm just going to open this in a new tab. Let's see what this looks like here. So what this does is this gives you the opportunity to open a remedy up and see every single rubric in a particular reversed, in a particular repertory. Whenever a repertory does have a reversed form, you can go look at remedies within it and see all the rubrics under that remedy in that book. And of course, if you want to go straight to the teeth chapter, let's say, you can just go ahead and click on teeth, or you can scroll. And it's a great way to study a remedy, or to do confirmatories. If you've got an idea in your mind of, oh, I think I want to give petroleum, but let me go look and see. Sometimes you'll find amazing things. You'll be looking through the rubrics, and you'll be like, oh yeah, they have that too, and they have that. And so it's confirming. And so that's the reverse repertory.
Thanks, Lucy.
Another question that was sent was, what are the somebody wanted to be reminded what the asterisks beside the remedies are. So I'll go back into repertory module. I'll open up a chapter. All of these asterisks, they tell you that there's source information. So for instance, if I were to hover my mouse over antimonium tartaricum and right click, again, the menu, when you right click, I'm going to go view that reference string. Asterisks relate to reference strings. So I'm going to click on that reference string. And here we have the sources. Antimonium tartaricum was put into that rubric by Herring, by Kent, by a lot of people. So it's got a lot of strong sources behind it. In the reliable goes a little bit further. Let's go into a chapter. Let's go into a different chapter. You see that some remedies have asterisks. That's because the reliable doesn't just give the author, it likes to give context. And so we're working on trying to increase our reference string information. But let's say, for instance, we wanted to go look at natrum carbonicum. If we're in the reliable, I'm going to right click, go view this in the reference string. And so in the reliable, it gives you not just the author, but context. You can see here from Gellivarden, it came from there. Weeping mood throughout the day with ennui and sensation of being abandoned. So that goes a step beyond just giving you the author. It gives you the context. Any questions, Maggie?
Not at the moment, Lucy.
Okay. Well, I was going to show, so remember we were in reference library, and I was looking at certain books, that I wanted. And I just wanted to remind people how you can put your favorite books at the top. So, here we are. When you first have SHS installed, Allen's, Clark's, and Buttocks are sort of a default at the top. But, maybe you want them there, maybe you don't. I had looked in Herring's, Chaudhary's, and Vermeulen's. What if you wanted those three at the top instead? You can easily do that. You can go to User, Preferences, Reference Library Settings, and here's where you see those three at the top. I'm gonna look for. There's that one. I want that one, and you have a total of 5 that you can put at the top. So let's say I want to take off Allen's, and I want Herring, Times Guiding Symptoms, and I also want Vermeulen's Synoptic. There we go. So I want those 5. And then you hit the save button and your program will reload. And if you have clipboards, it asks you, hey, do you want to restore those clipboards you had? I'm going to hit yes. And now we're going to go back to the reference library, go on to books, and you see I kept those top 2, but those others 3 that I chose are where I put them. They're now at the top. And you can do the very same thing in your repertories. Let's say you have a favorite repertory that you want to be at the top. You want that one to be the book that you see first when you get a resulting global search as well. You'll notice that when I did, let's just throw something up there. You'll notice that when I did a search, the complete always comes up to the top. But if you want a different repertory, if you want the reliable to come to the top, then you can come to User, Preferences, and go to the repertory settings and have the reliable. Now to get the reliable to the top, I'm going to X out of everything else. And then the reliable is going to be at the top. And let's say maybe I want Murphy's to come to the top as well. Maybe I want the Suggesta. Oh, I don't have the Suggesta on this program right now. Maybe I want Nares. Okay, back at the top. So then, now remember, you have to hit the save button and it's underneath this drop down. So you just have to click out of the drop down, hit save, the program reloads again. Yes, let's restore them in case there's some more questions. Come over here to repertories, and now you can see the reliables at the top. And the complete always comes below your choices, then everything else is alphabetical. And so I'll go ahead and search for Desire Suite again. And you see that the reliable now is the first book to come up. But of course you can access the complete, it's there, or any of the other repertories you have in your search result. Any other questions?
No, not right now, Lucy.
Okay. Well, if nobody has any more questions, that was all I had planned for today. I had some questions and I answered them, and we could end early if nobody else has any questions. Next month, the training will be on April 5th. That's the first Friday in April. But I just want to remind everybody about a time change that's happening on this side of the pond. We're going to get daylight savings time. And so instead of at 10 o'clock, if you live in the United States or Canada, the training will start at 11 o'clock next month. And Maggie, I know that there's some time changes happening in Europe too.
Yeah, it's different countries, different times, so
it's different times. So I think Zoom is pretty good about, giving you your time when it gives you the reminders. So just be sure you look at your reminder and check the time, because all that shifting is happening this time of year.
and I've just posted the link to the training videos in the chat there, which I forgot to do earlier, sorry.
Okay, thanks. All right. Well, it was a short session today, but I appreciate everybody giving me your time and attention, and thanks so much for attending. Have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy this time leading into spring, which is so lovely. Thank you so much, Maggie, for helping.
Thanks, Lucy.
Okay. Bye-bye.